And of course, we talk about football. Club football is back. How excited are you? These guys were excited last week Friday when we were here, and they are back again this Monday. We'll be taking a look at all the transfers from La Liga to English Premier League to the cup games in Germany to the league in France. The Italians are telling everyone, just pause, hold on for a bit. We'll be back this weekend. We are back this Monday afternoon. Dolapo, it's a pleasure having you. Samis, it's good to see that you guys are with your phones, and I'm hoping that what you are pressing on that phone, checking on that phone, are things that we'll share on the show. The numbers, they speak. For some, the numbers didn't speak for some. For some, it was about playing well and not getting results. Some played badly and they got the results. Two teams went away from home. They secured maximum point. These two teams, are they the ones that will go on and push for the league title? City were at Wolves. They won by 4-0. Arsenal were at United. They won by 1-0. The others won at home or got a point at home. For Chelsea Football Club, World Club champions. Back at the bridge, couldn't get a win against Crystal Palace. And for that game, the cameras were on Eberechi Eze. The questions around him, if he's going to win, if he's going to stay rather, or even win for Palace and being his last game. That didn't happen. He scored, but that goal was disallowed. So the drama continues, and Glasner said yes after the game, that clause you talk about £68 million, forget about it. And I saw the news about Spurs and Palace trying to hold a discussion around the fee. So let me get down to Samis. Samis, it's good to have you join me on the show. I know the Premier League is the center point. Of course, we'll see if we can take a chip at La Liga. So Samis, how was it for you starting with Liverpool on Friday night against Bournemouth? How do you weigh in? I remember you were here telling me that in terms of clubs that will go down, you mentioned Bournemouth going down. With what you saw, do you still think they are going down? But just let me hear your thoughts about the feeling, the Premier League and all that happened. Just a quick wrap from a quick thoughts from you, Samis, and then I'll get out of Dolapo.
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Dolapo, and also to everyone who has joined us on this jolly day to listen or get more updates from the interesting world of sports. Well, I think every individual who loves sports, football, was happy over the course of the weekend with the return of Europe top 5 leagues. But for some leagues, it was not the return, but cup games. But you talk about England, where it happens to be the most televised league in the world. It started with Liverpool, whom of course started their title defense. Well, not on the best note. The reason why I said it's not the best is that they surrendered a 2-goal lead in that game before they eventually won by 4-2. And you could thank one man as well, Federico Chiesa, who was like the forgotten player last season, and he came off the bench in the first game to win that game for Liverpool. And then for Mohamed Salah, you just keep singing the name of the Egyptian king. 10 consecutive seasons, scoring on the opening match day of the English Premier League. So it's a good one for Liverpool, and I hope that there are lots of positive they can take away from that encounter, and also work on the not so good things that went down in the course of that game against Bournemouth, where Antoine Semenyo, the Ghanaian international, was subject to racism. But he stood tall despite that, scoring 2 goals for himself in that encounter. And also, his best was not just enough. And as a team for Bournemouth, I remember I said that they can get the drop this season, or they would get the drop this season. But then, after they look at the way they played against Liverpool, and maybe I would say it was too early for me to call, but it is something that can just still happen if they don't remain focused, just like they lost their focus also in the course of the last 10 minutes of that encounter against Liverpool there at the Anfield Stadium.
So Dolapo, how was it for you?
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, Samis, and good afternoon to everyone listening at the moment. Well, for me, the weekend was fun. Every game, all of it was just like I've not watched good football for a while. The Premier League was so interesting.
Hold it. This is the hype I want to hear, and I'm getting it. But let me bust that hype.
What's that?
Maybe we saw the game differently.
Yes.
Maybe you saw the game on the angle of long you watched the Premier League.
Exactly.
Okay. But all for me wasn't. The game, I felt the players were a bit tired. Every game I saw, I didn't get to see the 9 games because there's still 1 to 9 leagues and everything.
Yes.
So I didn't get to see the 9 games, but I saw half of the games in real time, and I felt the players were a bit tired. Hitting 60, 75 minutes of the game, they were a bit tired, and it can get better, right? But you saying that, I just want to say, for me, is the other way.
Well, after 82 days or 83 days, 83 or 82 days or thereabouts without playing English Premier League football, there've been some teams of them have played in the FIFA Club World Cup, and some of them didn't play. Some of them were only playing the friendly games and all of that. But I just feel like many of these teams came on. It's just a normal thing when you're playing the first game week of the season. You get tired easily, and all of that is going to come in. But the excitement was still there for me, especially when you watch a game like that of Sunderland and West Ham United, and the way these new boys played. After they've spent close to £130 million, you'd expect that, but the way they outclassed, the way they outplayed West Ham United was so fun for me. I saw the way the Sunderland guys were playing. They were playing with fun. They were not playing like a team that is just coming back to the Premier League for the first time since 2017. They played with everything they had, and it shows that the money they're spending to this team is looking like something that would really work out for them. And as well as I saw the Tottenham Hotspur game, and I was frank.
Do you honestly think that this Spurs side, when they play against the big boys, they will come up with this kind of setup?
I feel like they can do it, especially against some particular big boys. They can do it against the likes of Manchester United, against the like of Chelsea that I watched yesterday. They can do it against Arsenal. If Arsenal is going to play the way they played yesterday as well, they have something they can do. This team is.
But they can't do it against Liverpool and Manchester City.
They might not be able to do it.
What you saw.
They can do it against Liverpool. They can't do it against City. They would struggle if they do it against City. They are playing City next week. They would struggle if they play like that against City. So they would, if they play like that against City, they might struggle. But against the other big five, I feel like they can do it and get away with it because they have a good defensive midfielder in Paul Lea. I saw the way he was playing, and I'm thinking, looking like these guys can just play very well in the middle of the park against any other team. So I feel like these teams are we will still get more and more interesting games. And another game that was more interesting for me was what happened in Spain, Atletico Madrid. They lost their first game of the season, and I didn't see that coming. I was expecting them to defeat Espanyol, but it didn't go the way Diego Simeone wants it. And I'm thinking, and I'm asking myself.
Stop thinking. We'll get to that point. We'll talk about Spain.
Okay.
Now that you brought this game, played in the RCD between Espanyol and Atletico Madrid, who led in that game, but end up losing by 2-1. Sammy, so Dolapo mentioned, a whole lot of him enjoying it. Which of the game really caught your eyes now? Was it the one that the Black Cat that Sunderland beat the Hammers by 3-0, or is it the Nottingham Forest against Brentford? Which one actually caught your eye? Don't tell me United Arsenal. Go somewhere else.
Definitely not the United Arsenal game. Okay. I would say it's the result in which many people, except the Sunderland fans at the Stadium of Light, who actually thought they were going to defeat West Ham. That was the game that caught my attention because for me, I was at an event and I was just following the 3 p.m. kickoffs that was going on in England, and I just had interest in that game. And I saw 3-0 at the end of the 90 minutes, and I said to myself, wow, how did this happen for that's Sunderland to get better off that's West Ham Football Club? And I looked at the recruitment in which Sunderland they've made. I think 2 of their summer signings were on target in that encounter. Daniel Ballard, who was an Arsenal Academy product, sent them into the finals of the Champions playoffs. He was on target also in that encounter. And catching the highlights of that game, I saw the leadership performance from Granit Xhaka, who played more deep in that encounter against West Ham. So I said that was the game that really caught my eye in the English Premier League. And if you'd ask me also, another game that really caught my attention was just the game between Manchester City and Wolverhampton Wanderers, 4-0. Well, it was a great game of that football, where, of course, Pep Guardiola remains Pep Guardiola, tweaking all the starting 11 in the world, because this is the big start of an headache into many football fans, because you just don't know who Guardiola is going to put on the field of play. Ryan Cherki came off the bench to get his first goal for Manchester City in the English Premier League. Tijani Reinders also got a goal for himself. Yeah. And then you just say that it was a whole lot of weekend where lots of debutants got their goals in the English Premier League. While for some,
you didn't mention
the 001.
There's one in front of you. There's one in front of you also got the the Swede, talking about Ndoye. That Ndoye who joined from Bologna.
From Bologna.
Yeah.
I joined the Nottingham Forest. He got the second goal in that encounter also against Brentford. But for some, like I said, it's just the start of the 0-0-1 for some of them, you know.
That's like a meal in this part of the world.
Now, some people will hope they get to the James Bond level, you know, 007.
When you speak in this fashion, in this manner, it doesn't bring to understanding. First it was 001. I said that's like a food schedule in this part where you don't eat in the morning, you don't eat in the afternoon, you eat at night. You said 007. That reminds me of James Bond.
Yeah.
Are we watching a movie here?
Of course, it's a movie. That's the debacle in which we have. It's football, you know.
So you're here to tell me what 007 means?
No, for the likes of João Pedro, Victor Gyökeres, Benjamin Sesko. Who else? Give me the names.
Matheus Cunha,
Bryan Mbeumo, Nonima Madueke.
Is that what you meant by 007?
Yeah. 00, all of them are on 001 at this point. So
Wheat. You have to add that as well.
Most expensive summer.
So the only one there is
𝐒𝐿𝐒𝐾𝐃.
Who's the only one?
Not only 𝐒𝐾𝐃, we have some of the top guys. 𝐒𝐾𝐃, like I said, Sijani, Ryan Cheki. All of these guys have got their goals.
Let's put a stop to all these slangs, 007, 001.
It's not going to be easy with the likes of...
let's quickly talk about some of the things that, on Sunday night that, got a few people talking. Has to do with Manchester United, a little bit of the discussion around how they play at Olakpo and how the fans felt, okay, yes, we lost to Arsenal Football Club, but this was a bit better than what we saw last season. But, some will still say, it's not what we want, it's just to win games. While watching the game yesterday, one of the things the commentator said that was really shocking to me was that they've never won back-to-back games. The last game last season was against Villa, where they won in that game against Villa. Villa were hoping to win to qualify for Champions League. United won that one, going into the UEFA Cup final. And you thought, to start the season based on what the fans saw in the summer series in the US, where they blew everyone apart, hoping to come to Old Trafford, get a win against the almighty Arsenal. No. Maybe in the context of the English Premier League, they're almighty. So to get a win in that game, that didn't happen. What do you make of that?
Ruben Amorim, he's still struggling with Manchester United. Yeah, they were yes,
7 wins
in 27 Premier League games under him is struggling.
He's struggling.
Yeah, so
with that,
when you win 7 of your 27 first Premier League games, you are struggling. Well, for me, I feel like there were positives in the game. They played really well. They almost took Arsenal to the sword, but then almost gives you nothing. Almost gets you nothing. They had 22 shots in that game, 8 on target, and they were still not able to get a single goal in that game. Arsenal didn't really play well. That was the worst Arsenal side I've seen over the past few years now. But then they were still able to grind out results. Yes, for the past 2-3 years now.
That's the worst against Newcastle, where they lost a goal to them at some time.
No, they still played better than this game yesterday. Yesterday, Arsenal were, if not for that goal Ricardo Calafiori scored, they were getting goals. They were getting chance to play well in transition. They were not converting, but they were not playing up to the standard at all. The standard were very low to what we all expect from Arsenal this season, and I know Mikel Arteta would want to work on that. But for me, I feel like I've seen a few positives with the way Manchester United want to play. They look more dangerous attackingly, unlike what we saw last season with Rasmus Højlund, Joshua Zirkzee, Alejandro Garnacho. Mbeumo is fun to watch. I saw the way Matheus Cunha was playing as well. Benjamin Sesko was silent when he came in, but then it looks like it's just a matter of time before we see this team start to perform. But then, when other teams come out to play against you this way, if teams can defend this way against you, because for me, I can say they were wasteful at some point in time in the game. Bryan Mbeumo, apart from that header where David Raya had to make a very good save, and that shot where Cunha had in the first half, they had chances of converting good goals. They had chances of scoring good goals. I saw when Matheus Cunha went past four or five Arsenal defenders, and then he wanted to shoot like he was playing the ball to a baby in the goalpost. Right. They can do better.
SAMIES, Victor Gyökeres didn't do any better yesterday. Where do you put that blame on? The players who play behind him or him?
First, I would actually love for us to also credit Ruben Amorim and also the Manchester United players for their tactical approach to that encounter, because they stopped everything Arsenal put at them.
United would have wished they play badly and win.
Yes, and that's the result in which Arsenal got.
But last season, they were playing badly and they were not winning games.
Yes.
So maybe that's the kind of improvement.
Like I said this morning, it was a big positive for Manchester United fans and even for the players. They fought for the badge. There was a big determination from them to win the game, but they just didn't win. But back to 𝐵𝑘𝑡𝑜r Gyökeres starting his first Premier League game for Arsenal. Going into that encounter also, he was a man who has scored in the opening game for 4 consecutive seasons. But over the course of the game yesterday, he was unable to add that.
Not in the Premier League.
Not in the Premier League.
What did Kola say to you?
Hold on,
don't say that on here.
But then,
scrap that.
But we look at the services. He was present physically yesterday to the Manchester United defense. The leads, you had Dogu, you had Yoro, you had Luke Shaw. He was physically present against those guys who actually pushed him to the dry cleaners yesterday. But then you also look at the services in which he got, or those who were supposed to provide the services for 𝐵𝑘𝑡𝑜r Gyökeres. And the main man is the captain of the side, Martin Odegaard. Not to blame Martin Odegaard yesterday, but you look at what Odegaard's level of performance. Yes, a lot of people will say it stops the Manchester United attack, but you look at how many passes did he release as swift as possible in that encounter. You also pick points at the likes of Bukayo Saka, Gabriel Martinelli. What did they do? How many services did they provide for 𝐵𝑘𝑡𝑜r Gyökeres? I say none. They didn't provide a lot of services. So
you put the blame on the last player.
I put the blame on every other player playing behind 𝐵𝑘𝑡𝑜r Gyökeres and even playing alongside 𝐵𝑘𝑡𝑜r Gyökeres. And because I think this is because Arsenal are not used to the setup of playing to a 0.9, the strength of a striker. That is one thing Arsenal have not done in recent years, and that they are still not in realization that they have a number 9 in their team.
So let's move on to some other things. Don't forget tonight, the last game in the Premier League for this weekend will be going on. Leeds and Elland Road will be playing against Everton Football Club. And of course, in Spain, there will be 2 games. Talking about Spain, Delapo earlier mentioned the game between Espanyol and Atletico Madrid. And for Atletico Madrid, I want to say boldly that if there's a manager in the top 5 in Europe who is so confident that nothing will happen to his job, who goes to bed sleeping, who is not really too bothered, his name is
Diego Simeone.
Cholo Simeone. They lost to Espanyol. It seemed that ordinarily they should be
9 minutes of that game also.
It doesn't matter when they go score the goals.
Well, for me, I think it is just high time for Atletico Madrid board to come out and put some pressure on this man. He has been in this team for...
Yes. Let me also add, he's one of the highest paid.
He's the highest paid. He's not one of the highest paid. He's the highest paid manager in the world.
Not even
he's spending
what is
yes, like when you look at the Spanish La Liga for the past 3-4 seasons and you look at how much Barcelona is spending, how much Real Madrid is spending, and how much Atletico Madrid is spending. Atletico is spending more than this team, and this team are dominating. When you look at when you ask people why Pep Guardiola is dominating in England, they will tell you it's because he's spending money. Why is Diego Simeone spending money in Atletico Madrid and there's nothing to show for? He's spending. Julian Alvarez is a class player. He's world class. They have Solot in this team. They have Antoine Griezmann. They have Barros. He won the World Cup. He won the Champions League. Julian Alvarez is world class. Take him out of the Argentina side that won the World Cup. They won't win the World Cup that year. He was influential with the team.
So you're saying Alvarez is a world class player?
He is a world class player. He is a world class player. For me,
he never won the Champions League with Manchester City. No,
he won the Champions League.
But he's not an integral player.
He won the Champions League.
What is a world class?
A world class player is a world class player to me is a player that can go, he can step into anything.
Where was he when Real was beating them on the Champions League?
He played well in that game. He scored a penalty that I feel like was rigged. For me, I think Julian Alvarez is a world-class player to me.
We have been careless with the way we throw around the world.
Don't be careful with the word.
If you are calling defenders like Virgil van Dijk world-class and you don't want to call Julian Alvarez world-class, I don't get it.
Who mentioned Van Dijk as a world-class defender?
Many people call him world-class defender. So if you are putting Van Dijk as a world-class
defender, so the world-class has been abused.
Yes, it has been abused to that man.
So you are joining those who have abused the world-class.
Yes, Alvarez to me is a world-class player.
So Tony Madueke is a world-class
player. He's not even an average player, but Julian Alvarez to me is a world-class player. Because when you look at
Phil Foden is a world-class player.
No, don't bring anybody, just anyone here. Julian Alvarez is a world-class. This guy would step in, he would walk in.
Cole Palmer is a world-class player.
Core players I would
Nico
step into
Williams
it.
is a world-class player.
No, why are you bringing
He helped
low-class
Spain to win
player?
the Euros.
No.
And he helped Atletico de Bilbao to win Copa
To
del
win
Rey.
Copa del
Lamin
Rey, not-
Yamal
No,
is a
not
world-class
players like
player.
that. Not
Lamin
players like
Yamal
that.
is a world-class
For
player,
me,
right?
this is the reason why.
No, Lamin Yamal is a
He's a
world-class
young
player.
boy
Not,
trophy.
Lamin
he's a young
Yamal.
player. He's not a world-class player. I'm not putting him, but for me, I feel Julian Alvarez is a world-class player, and I'm standing
you
on
won't hear
it.
the last of this. I'm serious.
I'm standing on it for real. Yes, I feel so.
Alvarez is a
When you look at the way this guy plays,
Let's
he's a
move
player
on.
that can play in
Alvaro
any place.
Morata.
No.
Let's move on. Forget about the name, Sammy. If Neymar is not a world-class player,
He's not.
let's end it. 6 minutes to 4. We have to just find a way to wrap this up. So let's talk some basketball this afternoon, Sammy. So 3 wins for our boys. Okay, maybe not to shout. Just take it cool, calm, and see what happens. Quarterfinals.
Yeah.
They wait for the round of 16 games and see the team they play against. So it's been pretty good for the boys. We know progression wasn't the best, but it is what it is when they get to win games.
I think that's what the Niger spirit in which we talked about before going into this competition gives to all of these guys. And I think they saw the ladies as a motivation as well to go to Angola and do better. And I think they are doing that so well. They defeated the defending champions. They defeated the best team on the African continent. And now they defeated another yesterday. So you say that it's definitely a good performance for them. And for the quarterfinals in which we await our opponents, let's see how far we can also go in that encounter. Because we've reached 100 points mark. So I think we should actually do better. And you talk about men's basketball, it's always different on the African continent.
I want to ask that question. I wasn't watching, but I monitored. I keep seeing different kind of results, scoreline. I saw 99-90.
Yeah.
I saw 102-92. So I don't know the one FIBA put up.
I think it's 190.
For what I saw, because I saw like 3 last night. I saw up to 3 scorelines.
Why is the
last
problem?
night. So for FIBA, we actually need to confirm from FIBA at this point, because
I think I saw 190. I'm not very sure.
I
It's
saw
different. I've seen
I
different.
saw 99-90. I saw 102-92.
Well, I'm seeing a 99 to 90 from FIBA.
That's what I saw too. Okay.
I think the official X account of the Tigers they posted 190, if I'm not mistaken, yesterday night or this morning. So I saw 190. I don't know where the 99 is coming from. I don't know where they are getting the 112 from. Different results.
You know,
but
if this was your election in this part, you know what that means. SAMIES. Maybe Kenny will help us. If this was election results and you're throwing 99-90, you're showing 102, what did they say to you? What would they say to you?
Inconclusive.
No, that's not the word.
What's the
Kenny,
word?
what would they say to these guys? You know what they used to say? It's go to court. Let's go, guys. Wish we can and on and on and on and on. But hey, SAMIES has got one more to share with us. Yes, Cincinnati Open. I mentioned tennis earlier, so I think we have a minute to do that. It's going to be the clash of the Almighty for the men's singles. I was waiting for that game last night, but until when I got a note that hey, the game will be later tonight in Cincinnati. So it's an exciting up against Carlos Alcaraz, Pete of the XW19.
4th time this season
that are playing each other. So what's
finals.
the head-to-head?
I think for Alcaraz has come out better.
No, since I've won the major one, which is XW19.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Carlos Alcaraz
that was the French Open. Yes. Who won the Australian Open?
It was none of them.
None of them.
Yeah,
No, it was Carlos Alcaraz. Yeah, Sinner won the first one.
Yannick
Sinner won the first Grand Slam of the year.
Yeah.
Okay, so this time tonight is Yannick Sinner, and for the women, I think I saw
That's a Paulini and
Swiatek playing, and for the pole, it's pushing.
I think it's the time of the year when Jasmine Paulini gets to put in a better shift.
Yeah.
And it's that time where she also gets better with her gameplay and everything. But for Iga, I think it's good for her to be in the finals of this once again. And you look at the player in which she has played against, she actually got past the best players. She defeated Elena Rybakina. Elena Rybakina defeated Arina Sabalenka.
Is that choir master style?
And then,
Like when you have to leave the studio and you get this choir master thing, you know.
But it's just going to be a great game of tennis later tonight when Iga Swiatek takes on Jasmine Paulini and Carlos Alcaraz against Yannick Sinner.
There you have it. We want more. We'll give you more when they come for 5. This time it will be Ege, and they will be talking about the Premier League and some other headlines from the world of sport. But for us, we'll be here again on Tuesday morning, 7:40 a.m. for Scoreboard in 15. I've done this with Dolapo and Samis. I am Peter.